That's right, today is the return of Chainsaw Man with the release of Chapter 98. So far, Fujimoto has lived up to every expectation as far as Chainsaw Man goes with this chapter, to the point that apparently the Shonen Jump app was having some connectivity issues within the first hour of the chapter dropping. Easy to believe when you get information that within the first hour, Chapter 98 exceeded 300k views on Jump Plus in Japan, and that was only in Japan. We aren't here to talk about statistics though. We're here to talk about Chapter 98 of Chainsaw Man. Quick segue though. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. And if you want to be a part of a growing community, why not join the Discord linked in the description? Way back when the first part of Chainsaw Man had ended, we were told that the second part would be focused around school. Chapter 98 definitely reinforces that as we follow the story of Asa Mitaka. I'm going to dive into her future role in the series because I think some things that Fujimoto said, as well as Asa being the focus of Chapter 98, may have confused some people. Chapter 98 starts in a classroom setting where we meet Bucky, the chicken devil, who is essentially a class pet. We are told that 3 months from now, the kids of the class are going to have to unalive and eat Bucky in order to understand how precious life is. Then we are introduced out of name to Asa Mitaka, who we find out through the other students hates devils because her parents were eaten by one. The next few pages are just examples to reinforce Asa's personality. She's a loner who doesn't get along with people and doesn't feel the need to do so. She's also very relatable in this sense because why do you need to walk side by side taking up the hallway or hang out in the bathroom? Weirdos. We then meet the class president, who seems to be the only one interested in a friendship with Asa. Then there's Asa straight up alluding to the fact that she doesn't think humans and devils should get along. The complete opposite stance from Denji at the beginning of Chainsaw Man. Time speeds up and the 3-month period has ended, meaning it's time for the students to eat Bucky. In complete agreement, they decide they would rather not eat Bucky because he's their friend, and Asa is less than pleased by this, but the teacher is excited, telling them that they learned the lesson he was trying to teach them, not to take life lightly, even the devils. As a reward, the entire class goes out to play soccer where Asa's shell is cracked open just a bit by Bucky remembering her name, acknowledging that she was jealous of the relationships the other students had made. Running out to play with the other students, she trips, crushing Bucky in the process. Asa and the class are devastated. And this goes on for some time until one night the class president and the teacher show up at Asa's house. They say they would like to go visit Bucky's grave. One thing that threw me off in this part though is the class president says, "I'm sure Bucky will forgive us up in heaven." Maybe they just aren't aware of the cycle that devils go through as far as death goes. Anyways, on the way to Bucky, Asa finds out from the class president that the teacher, Mr. Tanaka, apologized for Bucky on Asa's behalf. And that Mr. Tanaka likes Asa, even though he's sleeping with the class president. And the bomb drops as we find out the class president formed a contract with the Justice Devil to find a way to have the teacher to herself. I'll mention this for a discussion we will have in a bit. What the teacher was doing was setting up a classic example for the Hays Code. Immediately before Asa's life is taken, she realizes a lot about her life. That she really wasn't any different from anyone else, and it brings her relief. But she does wish that things could have turned out differently. When suddenly an owl-like creature appears telling her, "If you want to live, your body will be mine." Standing back up after what should have been a killing blow, she pulls out the teacher's head and spine, turning him into a sword. And now for a second, we'll get back to the Hays Code. The Hays Code was a set of rules for American cinema back in the early to mid-1900s that established what a film should have in it. One of those rules were crime and immorality could never be portrayed in a positive light. If a character did a bad thing, they had to be punished. I saw someone complaining about why it was necessary to have the teacher plot in this first chapter, and this is why. It set up this plot line of justice while punishing both of the ones doing wrong. Asa informs the class president that she is the War Devil, quickly getting rid of her and then setting her sights on Chainsaw Man, saying, "I'll make you vomit nuclear weapons back up." Which tells us one of two things. The War Devil has memories from hell, and is just as, if not stronger than Makima, since it can remember things that Chainsaw Man has eaten. And that's how the chapter ends. Do I think we will see more of Asa and the War Devil? Most definitely. Do I think they are going to be the focus of the story? No. I think this introduction chapter was just there to let us know who our new villain is, our new Makima. Next week, we should be back to seeing what our boy Denji is up to. What did you think about the chapter, though? I know I'm already impatiently waiting for the next 6 days and roughly 14 hours to pass. As always, though, if you enjoyed the video, why not show some support and like and subscribe?